Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Workday Physique. I'm your host, as usual, Ajitesh. Today's episode was not meant to be because I just released an episode yesterday, but I woke up today morning and the first thing I see on my social media is a lot of my fitness community peers sharing this initiative by an Indian brand where they're incentivizing their employees to reduce BMI by providing salary bonuses. So there have been quite a lot of mixed reactions to this. Some think it's a great thing, some think it's a terrible idea. So I wanted to express my view on this and state what is probably wrong with the initiative and what could instead be done to achieve the goals that the brand is trying to achieve. So I just have a brief outline that I came up with within the past 15 minutes because I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to say something about this because I think it's important, but making a post on social media I don't think has the same kind of impact the way it would be if instead I was to speak about it in a podcast or write a blog post about it. I think I'm more comfortable talking about this, so I'm making a podcast episode. But before we get started, I want to read out the social media post from their official Instagram page. Okay, this is by the CEO, and this is what they're saying about the program. We are running a fun health program at the brand name. Anyone on our team with BMI less than 25 gets half a month's salary as bonus. The average BMI of our team is 25.3, and if we can get to less than 24 by August, everyone gets another half month as a bonus. It'll be fun to compete with other companies. The lowest average BMI or the largest change in average BMI wins. The winner chooses a charity everyone else contributes to. Maybe a health tech company can run the initiative. If you want to do this at your company, do post in the comments, Happy World Health Day. And the CEO ends the post with a PS. I know BMI isn't the best measure to track health and fitness, but it is the easiest way to get started with health and most other things in life. The most important bit is to get started. By the way, walking 10,000 steps daily is a great start if you've been wanting to get healthy. That's the end of the post. So, a few things that I have in mind. And I understand that whatever the brand is trying to do comes from a place of good intentions. They're trying to incentivize people to make healthy choices, but perhaps the way to go about it is not the best one. To start off, let's talk a bit about the things which are problematic here. The first thing would be to assume that all employees want to reduce their BMI. And just by virtue of being part of the company now, they have been kind of put under obligation to become part of a process they did not consent to be a part of. All right. It is not my job as a fitness professional to tell others what their goals should be. It is my job to make them aware of the possible consequences of their actions, and to show them what is possible if they take care of their own health. And if they choose to make a change, then I help them get there. That is how it works. I'm a facilitator. I'm not a dictator of what their goals should be. So the first problem here is that the brand is assuming, the people who have designed this program, they're assuming that all employees want to reduce their BMI and all employees want to become healthy. All right. There's nothing with incentivizing people to make there's nothing wrong with incentivizing people to make better health decisions, but to impose a common goal on everyone, I think that is problematic. All right. And the other thing is that they're calling it a fun health program, but it is not necessarily fun for people who have different health conditions which make it difficult for them to lose weight. All right. There are people with metabolic disorders who I'm sure are part of the company's payroll. There are people who find it very hard to lose weight. And for these people, losing weight is not fun. A lot of people, even when they go on a very high calorie deficit diet, they're not able to lose weight as easily as people with normal, healthy metabolism. All right. And it is not a fun program for people like this, especially when you present it in the form of a competition. All right. So that is the first thing. The second thing is the brand seems to be overlooking the fact about how social dynamics tend to work. Okay. When you incentivize an entire team's success based on the contribution by individual members, if there is an overweight member in the team, because of whom your average BMI is going up, there will be a tendency to scapegoat that person, to point fingers at that person, to make them feel guilty for not being able to reduce their BMI. All right. Now imagine there are just two people in a 12 people team who are very overweight, either due to their health conditions, either due to their lifestyle choices. It could be anything. That doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. And they just don't want to lose weight. Okay, this is something that they're not interested in. But because they are not taking action to reduce their weight, the other members of the team will use that as an opportunity to possibly bully them, scapegoat. I'm missing the word. To make them scapegoats in the situation, or to just point fingers at them and make them feel uncomfortable while they're just doing their job as employees. They're still providing a great service to the company, but because of this initiative, they are being made to feel uncomfortable and being forced to do something which they are absolutely not interested in doing. So there seems to be an overlook when it comes to this aspect. I don't think they have thought it thoroughly. And the third thing, which is the most problematic thing, is making weight loss into some form of competition. All right. And anyone who knows how weight loss works knows that different people lose weight at different rates. So you could be doing everything right. You could be doing the perfect number of steps per day. You could be doing 3 exercise sessions a week, eating perfectly right. But there are still factors which are not within your control when it comes to losing weight. All right. Some people just have it easy because they just have, say, they're genetically wired to feel less hungry. They make better food choices because of how they have been conditioned over the years of, throughout their childhood, throughout their adulthood, how they have been conditioned to make food choices. They just have it easier in general. All right. Some people have it tougher because of medical reasons, because of environmental reasons. And when you make weight loss into a game, it's not a level playing field, either due to genetic factors, environmental factors, biological factors, psychological factors. So it isn't fair. It's not a level playing field, and it is not a healthy form of competition, because when you make weight loss into a goal, people can resort to any kind of means to get there. All right. If you look at, say, photos of people from famines, you'll see that everyone there has, shrunk. You can see their bones sticking out. That is because if you just stop eating, you will lose weight. Now imagine someone, just for the sake of the salary bonus, drastically overhauls their entire diet. They decide that all they will eat All they will drink are juices during this entire time. They will not eat any solid food. Will they lose weight? Yes. Will they get a salary bonus? Possibly. Will they also trigger an eating disorder for themselves? Possibly yes. Right? And then that becomes an additional burden on the medical system. So you're trying to fix a health issue here and you have started another health issue. Okay. And I know that a lot of fitness professionals have their own opinion regarding eating disorders, disordered eating, but this is just beyond our scope of practice. It is something which is under the expertise of mental health professionals and medical professionals. It is not something that fitness professionals should be talking about because it is not within their scope of practice, and we should not act like we know about things which we don't know about. Okay, so these are kind of the main problems that I can think about just over the top of my head, what I've written in this quick outline that I have made for this podcast episode. I have a few solutions in mind. All right, because I don't just like to point out problems. I like to provide solutions because anyone can point out problems. But how can you fix this? Because the brand's heart is in the right place. They do want to make a positive impact on their employees. So they're not coming from a wrong place to say, but they're just not doing it the right way. But here I have a few suggestions to make. The first suggestion would be, and this is the most important one, it would be to incentivize the process and not the result. So instead of incentivizing weight loss, how many kgs you have lost, how many BMI points you have dropped, I understand the corporate world, they like to incentivize results over everything. But that is not the way to go about it when you're trying to make a positive change in the health of your employees. So incentivize the process. Maybe you talk about how they can incorporate more movement into their daily life and incentivize that. Okay, maybe incentivize eating more protein, incentivize something about the process. I don't know right now. I cannot think much about it except that you could incentivize maybe a daily step target because most people are very sedentary. You could incentivize less screen time. You could incentivize more protein, but I don't know how you do that. But step counts, screen time, these are still possible. Maybe hours that you put in the gym. No, that is still, difficult to achieve. But something about the process, something which is doable, and maybe also have an upper limit to that so that people don't do something crazy like 60,000, 70,000 steps a day. So incentivize something about the process, but also take care that, people don't go overboard with it. So have an upper limit. I think this requires some kind of planning, all right, to execute properly. The other thing would be to make your work environment less obesogenic. Okay. I made an episode yesterday itself on the importance of environment when it comes to weight loss. So if your work environment is obesogenic, that is, you have high calorie dense snacks easily available, you have workspaces which don't let people move about during the day, you have weird work policies where you have forced employees to just sit in their chairs throughout the day, they don't have time to move about. That is what is contributing to the problem in the long run. And if you could fix that, if you could make it a rule that every 1 hour some bell would go off and employees would have to go walk for maybe 5 minutes and then come back to their desks after that, maybe something like that. Or you could have healthier food options in the pantry, in the snack section, or whatever other provisions you have for lunch. Just make unhealthy options inaccessible. All right, make it easy for them to make healthier choices. So when you do that, the actions would follow and the results will follow. So you have to address the problem at the root, not from the end point. All right, and make health accessible. That's the whole point. All right. And the other thing is, don't make weight loss into a competition, because we already talked about it. It's a very unhealthy way to look at things. This is what triggers eating disorders in people. And if someone is already recovering from an eating disorder, you don't know that because these are very personal problems. You will not know. Do you know how many people in your organization suffer from mental health issues, suffer from depression, have bipolar disorder? You don't know. So eating disorder is something like that. It's a very personal thing. And you doing something like this could trigger an episode which gets them back to where they were earlier. So you're trying to fix a health issue, you might just trigger another health issue. So don't make weight loss into a competition. All right. Instead, organize competitions which focus on performance. So you could have maybe a push-up contest. All right. This is just something over the top of my head, but something which focuses on the performance of the individuals. Okay. So when people organize marathons, it gives people a sense of accomplishment at the end of it. And that accomplishment is related to their performance, not to their weight. So a performance-related outcome is always more preferable. So weight loss as a competition, I don't, agree with it. You should not do it. So organize some competition that focuses on maybe the performance of participants. And when you sign up people for this, make sure you take their consent and don't make them obligated to be part of it. All right. Maybe send them some kind of questionnaire, physical activity readiness questionnaire, where they have given their consent that they have no health issues and they're, cleared by their physician to take part in physical activities like this. So make sure you do that. And the rewards for these things should be separate from the salary. All right. That is important. Because as soon as you link salary to this, as soon as you put a monetary incentive to this, people will do all kinds of things to make sure that they are not missing out. Okay, when it comes to their the monetary incentive, people don't want to miss out. All right, so I would say disconnect the reward from a monetary aspect. Instead, reward people with something which will help them carry this process even further. It could be maybe free access to the company's gym if you have one. It could be free sessions with personal trainers. It could be free health counseling where they are provided with dietary guidance for their exercise, and maybe some kind of accountability coaching where they are provided the guidance about how they can carry this lifestyle forward. So these could be rewards instead of the monetary rewards. All right. So these are just a few suggestions that I have that can be implemented. And the bottom line here really is that you need to empower people to make the right choices. Overweight people are aware that they're unhealthy. So it's not that they don't know they're unhealthy, that they're out of shape. They know that. They don't need to be told what to do. All right. It is our responsibility as concerned well-wishers, maybe as fitness professionals, to make them aware of what is possible, what a healthy lifestyle will do for them, and nudge them towards making decisions which make that happen. All right. But what they choose to do ultimately is a personal choice. You can make it easy for them to make that choice, but you cannot make that choice for them. All right. They get to voluntarily decide if they want to make a change. And the only way you can help them in the process is by making it easy for them to do things which help them live a healthier life, which help them make healthier choices. So that is really the end of the episode. I don't think the policy that the brand has implemented is from a place of, malice, because they do want to help the people, but they're just not educated in this topic well enough to have made a better decision than this. That is what I feel. But I hope that this brings about some kind of awareness, and maybe going forward, when brands try to make policies regarding health for their employees, they will reconsider the implications of it and make better policies. That's all I have to say. And I hope you found the episode to be helpful, and I hope that this brought about some kind of awareness, and if it helped you understand the whole issue around incentivizing BMI as a measure to improve your health, and especially incentivizing it with money and salary bonuses, why that is problematic. And I hope that this was helpful in some way. But anyway, I'll end the episode here because it's early morning and this is the first thing that I did right out of bed. So I'm going to go drink some water and maybe have some breakfast, but I'll see you again very soon. Until then, stay tuned, stay safe, and stay consistent.